How do you create a successful project for school? First of all, I want to commend you for wanting to do projects or project-based learning in your class because there are challenges that come with projects. But you're wanting to move in this direction because as we are preparing kids for the world of work, purposeful jobs are often jobs that are project-based, oftentimes with some type of problem solving or inquiry involved. And this can range from how to diagnose and treat patients to addressing climate change to designing the next iPhone. And we know that with the advent of AI, artificial intelligence, a lot of jobs that people have now will later in the future become obsolete. So as an educator, although I can't always predict the future, I want to work in such a way where I do help students reach their goal of a job that gives them meaning and purpose. So let's say you're a history teacher. So is the work you are giving in your classroom helping students to reach their goal of finding a job with meaning and purpose? Let's say you're a math teacher. Is the work you are giving in your classroom helping students to reach their goal of finding a job with meaning and purpose? Project-based learning is one step in that right direction to accelerate the 5 C's: communication, collaboration, creativity, critical thinking, and compassion, skills that will be needed and portable wherever the student goes. Let me share with you 5 essential steps to guide students through projects. I call them Dr. Kim's 5 R's of PBL. In fact, I'll use one of my own projects, Project Soapbox, to guide us through the steps. The driving question for this PBL, Project Soapbox, is how do I deliver a speech on a topic I care about? R number 1, research. I often tell students that they need to saturate their brain with knowledge. This is an important step. If I were to ask them to give a speech on a topic they care about, but they had not done the research, no one is going to want to give that speech. So what we do is help them to saturate their brain with knowledge on that topic. And I want you to imagine a sponge under a faucet soaking up water. Once that sponge is saturated with water, if you were to squeeze that sponge, the water would flow. And the same if students saturate their brains with knowledge. As students research, I encourage them to take notes, and perhaps that's going to happen on a Google Doc or a Google slide. Then this kind of becomes a first draft of their work. And that leads us to step 2. R number 2, revision. If you've not seen the video YouTube called Austin's Butterfly, I highly recommend. But basically, it's about a student who draws a butterfly. The first drawing does not look like the butterfly he is drawing, but with student feedback and multiple iterations, the student work becomes better and better. I show this video to my students and tell them, you're going to Austin's Butterfly as well. You're going to revise your work through peer feedback, but it's not a butterfly we're creating, it's the project, and in this case, a speech. Once the first draft of the speech is done, they will have the opportunity to revise it through student feedback. This could be a self-evaluation where they look at their own work through a designated rubric. This might be a peer evaluation, or I might even use a critical friends protocol, and I'll put the link in the description where you can find these different kinds of protocols. R number 3, recording. I think students have more pride in their work when they talk about their work. So in the case of Soapbox speeches, it's a recording of their own speech. Which medium? I mean, it could be Screencastify, Adobe Spark, Flipgrid, iMovie. It could even be their phone. This allows students to see their own work, but also creates the stage for others to see their work, including their peers, parents, or community, which leads us to step 4. R4, recital. Students are more motivated to turn in high quality work if they think somebody's going to see it. When a teacher incorporates a gallery walk or some other kind of showcase where the work is seen, and ideally authentically seen, students regularly turn in higher quality work. R5, reflection. I used to skip this step and move on to the next module. And for many years, I used to just do it that way, one module to the next, until I started reading some of my student evaluations where I requested some feedback, and some students shared, I feel like we don't have time to take a break between projects. And in my mind, I was thinking, well, we only have a certain number of days and there's this much to cover, so I thought moving from one module to the next made sense, right? Wrong. We all know that we all need breaks, especially our students. Now I incorporate a time of rest, but rest through reflection. Rather than new knowledge, there may be great benefit during this time to peer review, reflect on how they collaborated, reflect on their 5 C's, how they grew in their communication, collaboration, creativity, critical thinking, and compassion. Reflect as they also affirm themselves, affirm one another, and take that moment of rest with reflection before they move on to the next module. And this has been much better for students. Well, there we go, Dr. Kim's 5 R's of PBLs. So what R did you think about the most? Was it research? Was it revision? Recording? Recital? Reflection? Be sure to write which R in the comment section and tell me why. This is Dr. Jeff from my EdFamily YouTube channel signing out.